Peace and greetings, everyone. How are you? How's it going? Oh, it's so wonderful to see you all. Peace and welcome. Welcome and peace to everyone. Thank you for joining us for episode 1 of Spiritual Entrepreneurship, the Sacred Journey into Abundance podcast with me, your host, SistahYaya. This is our first episode. We're going to be talking about building from brokenness. We're going to be talking about the stories of how Soul Tribe got started, how I got started. We're going to talk a lot about just what business is in this entire podcast series. But first, I just want to welcome you and thank you for your time and your attention for being here. Now, of course, traditional to every time we start our meetings together, I like to start with us just taking some time to breathe. It's our breath that settles us. It's our breath that helps us to be grounded, helps us to be focused, helps us to feel our own energy, and it helps to silence some of the energetic noise around us. So let's breathe together, okay? We're going to breathe in through our nose, and then we're going to gently exhale through our mouth. Breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. So let's breathe in together, shall we? Breathe in and exhale through your mouth. Let's breathe in and exhale. And let's breathe in again. And gently exhale. And of course, we want to invite the ancestors into the session because without them, there is no us. Because we are the accumulation of them inside of us. So as we honor them, we honor ourselves, right? And we know as spiritual entrepreneurs, we work closely with our ancestors and everything that we do. So we invite them here and invite them right where you are. Call upon your highest spirit team, your most elevated and beloved ancestors to join you right now so that you can hear and receive that which is available to you. So we're so grateful for our spirit team, the divine universe, our ancestors, all those that love us, all those loving energies, the orishas that are around us to keep us and preserve us. And we're so grateful for their presence. And we say thank you and welcome. Once again, welcome to Soul Tribe Spiritual Entrepreneurship Podcast. This is our first episode. I'm super excited. We're talking about the sacred journey into abundance with me, SistahYaya. First, let me introduce myself. A lot of you see me on the YouTube, Instagram, and you're like, who's this lady? My name is SistahYaya. I am a Kermanti healer, oracle, herbalist. My tradition goes way, way, way back. I'm of Jamaican and Haitian background. And so spirituality and how we live are one and the same. We don't really separate out, And so my tradition is a tradition of healing, working with the elements of nature and herbs to help people to do well. The funny part is I never thought I'd be doing this business like this. I never thought about it because I joined this work because there was an opportunity to just share. I wanted to just share love. I wanted to share inspiration. I never thought that I would build this business to where it is today. I used to be a teen mom. I had my son when I was 14 years old as a result of a sexual assault relationship, right? So that was kind of traumatizing. I was raised by what they call a single mother, right? Throughout my life, I've seen things from like sexual assault and molestation, and being the darkest one in my family, that carried a lot of challenges in and of itself. And then I had the gift. I could see, I could hear, I can do things. So that made me even more strange, right? Although I'm born in this tradition, it was still like an anomaly for someone to be born and have these gifts. So I didn't come into Soul Tribe and Soul Tribe Heal with the idea of actually being a full-time light worker. I came into it because I just wanted to help people. So our podcast, which is Spiritual Entrepreneurship, Journey into Sacred Abundance, our journey, number 1, building from brokenness, is about bringing together healers. It's about bringing together people with a similar intent of using their skills and talents to promote and to elevate the vibration of this planet, but also create a life that you deserve. You have to know you're worthy of a life that you deserve. Just because you are a helper/healer doesn't mean you have to be broke. Doesn't mean you have to be broken, which we're going to talk about today. Doesn't mean that you have to drive around in the worst car, eat the worst food, live in the worst neighborhoods, just because you have a gift of helping and healing others, right? So this podcast in general is about that empowerment. It's about how to take what you know and what you do very good and be profitable. And when we say profitable, it's not just about the money, because what you will find out, the money is kind of on the back or the later end of things. It's about creating a lifestyle that honors your energy. It's about creating multiple streams of income from what you're doing right now to take your business to the next level. It's about understanding the dynamics of your business, knowing that it is like a person or like another child. It requires rest. It requires certain nutrients. It requires certain things for it to work optimally. And knowing your business like you would know your child is key. It is key. So this is another approach to business. And I'm going to tell you my story, how I got started line by line, because there's a lot more to how Soul Tribe came to be. So that is what we do. So you can see the description in the description box. Sign up for our newsletter. If you need a consultation, please email us at info@soultribeheals.com. We're doing specials right now, $100 for a session. And that is going to get you on the right foot. That is very, very little. And hey, if you're in business, you get to write that off on your taxes next year under professional fees. Okay, we'll talk about that later on. So it comes back to you already. So being in business will teach you how to invest. It will teach you principles of sowing and reaping, spiritual principles that will change your life. And we're going to talk about that. So what do we do? What is this podcast about? It's about sharing. It's about coming together, sharing ideas, concepts to strengthen your business, but also to strengthen you in business, because that's a whole nother thing. I come up in a family of entrepreneurs, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So I have a little bit more knowledge from before starting this on certain things, and we're going to talk about that in just a little while. All right. So for those who want to start and grow their business, this is the place for you. Ask your questions, leave it in the comments, and I will get to them. But first, let me tell you Soul Tribe's story. Let me tell you how we came into existence, right? So my family, like I said, we come from a family of hustlers. I'm Jamaican and Haitian, so you already know we got 5,253 jobs, right? Not the business, but this is a reality. So I've seen my mother, my aunt, my sister, they're always doing something. If they're doing hair or selling t-shirts, selling pies, they were always hustling, but I never really saw it from the perspective of business. My mother had a storefront. She sold clothes. On Saturdays, we would go to a flea market. It's called Cowtown. Those who are in New Jersey, you know about Cowtown. It's a rodeo, right? And we would get the early morning. I would sleep underneath the table on the blankets. It'd be so cold in New Jersey. I would sleep underneath the table, and she'll set up the table. She would set up her table, and she would sell her jewelry, her clothes, African fabrics. And I was just right there looking at her, writing out receipts and giving it to customers, not knowing that I would be doing this myself. Later on, she had a storefront. And the storefront was pretty cool because I could say my mama has a store, right? She did have a store. And it was beautiful. She sold clothes there as well. And I would help there as well, helping the customers. Again, writing receipts. I was always doing like the back office paperwork stuff. 6 years old, 7 years old, just doing things that I enjoyed. Yes? But what happened was, what I observed from her experience is that her business consumed her. Her business took a lot away from her personal life. When she had a business, I didn't see my mom a lot. She wasn't emotionally available because she was also working a job. She wasn't happy and healthy within herself. I think that started her descent, in my opinion, from the history. When she had started business, because she had all this energy, but she didn't have the support, the internal support, which are the things that we talk about in this podcast to help to sustain her through the high times in business and the low times of business. This is not a judgment. These are just observations, right? So I learned from that, and I said to myself, I will never be in business. I don't want to be miserable. I don't want to be looking like that. I don't want to be feeling like that. I will never do business. And I shut my mind off to doing business. My route came to go to school. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to be the first one to graduate college as a teenage mom in my family, which I did do. I did it. Top of my class in high school, top of my class in undergrad, and my master's program as well. All of that. Avoiding the call to start business. There was a reason why I had the opportunity to sit up and see business happening all around me. But because I saw the wounding that it caused my mother, I said, I don't want to do that. So couple of things here that I want to talk about. So I went to school, University of Delaware, went to esthetician school, became an esthetician, did masters in public health, did some work in Panama, the country of Panama. I traveled there, did research there, I published there, lived in Brazil, Salvador da Bahia, Brazil. And I did research there and I published there. So I was really gaining a lot of momentum when it came to this academic world. This is where I was going to be. This is what I wanted to do. Oh my gosh, I'm at the best university for everything. Until graduate school came around and I got sick. I came down with liver disease. At this time, we had a lot of family issues, and I had confronted my family regarding things of like sexual assault in the family that I had stood up against, because Spirit had told me, yeah, hey, if you don't say anything about it, you're just as guilty as those people who are doing it. And you know how it feels for it to happen to you. So I had to make a decision, y'all, what I was going to do. I was sick. I had came down with cancer as well. I was 26 or so. I came down with cancer. I was borderline diabetic. I had liver issues. I had liver disease, non-fatty liver disease. I had that. And these things were just happening. And so the Spirit and the ancestor whipped me out of graduate school, said, no, this is not the place for you. So a couple of years, I just floundered around that little stupid job, just trying to keep some money coming in. But I was never happy. I was never fulfilled. Like, I don't need nobody telling me when to go to the bathroom, when to eat my lunch, when that time I need to get up. And if my work is done, it's done. Don't need you to tell me what I'm grown. So that was the kind of energy that I had, right? But I was afraid to step out because I had seen my mother struggle in business. And I said, I will never live that way. And I didn't. But what happened in those 7 years, in that time frame, at being 26 and I had gotten sick, when I had confronted my family with the situation, they just said, you know what, if you're not with this, we're not changing, you're going to have to find another way to figure this out. So it was almost like an excommunication. And a lot of you know what that feels like when you're on this journey, right? And Spirit is, moving you to be different, eat different, stop going to that church or go to another church or whatever it is, change. Your family circle is not always supportive. May not always be there. But the challenge is, who do you choose? Do you choose to status quo in your family and how things have always been? Or do you decide to walk in your own power, create your own destiny, right? So you have to make these decisions. And for me, it was an easy decision to choose myself. And in choosing myself, I left everybody. Everybody left me, and I left everybody in the family for 7 years. So during the 7 years, I had gotten married, and I had 2 twin flames. I'm quite grateful. My first husband was my lower twin flame. We had a lot of fun, but he was the lower part. And my now husband is my higher part, my higher self twin flame. And I'm really grateful for that. And by the way, that can happen for you. If you believe it can happen for you. And we could talk about that, how to manifest your partner and partnership in business, because who those are in your household and why you're doing business is very important to the success, to what you're able to do and how much support you have is very, very important. So we can talk about that. So I had gotten married, and my husband at that time was already in real estate. He was already in business. He has been in business for a while. So I had learned a lot about corporate entities, a lot about taxation, accounting, IRS debt resolution, by working with entrepreneurs, helping them to start and grow their businesses from the ground up. I've put together entities, for-profit, nonprofit, do the accounting for them, do grant writing. I've done grant writing for myself and for other companies as well. All of this while I was in the marriage. And while I had its issues, I've learned a lot about entrepreneurship on the ground level. Later on, I went on to do some work at a credit union where I just started out, entry level, and I easily grew up and went into like a loan officer, customer representative role where we're doing loans and counseling and credit repair and things like that. And so I found myself around a lot of entrepreneurs again. The thing I said I was not going to do, because I saw my mama struggle and I saw how I struggled because she struggled. And I was like, hell no. But guess what happened, y'all? You're not going to believe this. So in my marriage, about almost 3 years ago, I get pregnant. Oh, and baby's coming. We're excited. I'm excited, but I don't think my husband's excited. And so our relationship falls apart. Here I am in a state that I don't know anyone. Again, my family is not connected with me at all. Here I am pregnant, right? And guess what? I have no money. I'm going to talk about that. Why? I had no job, which I wasn't going to have one, but I didn't have anything lined up to jump on a job. So sometimes you have to use them as transitory things, right? Yeah, had no transportation, and I am definitely pregnant, right? Sooner or later, I become homeless. I get a car that breaks down all the time, and and it's cold, and it's cold. And so this, out of that situation, is how Soul Tribe was born. So I'm sitting at the table, 7 months pregnant. I said, wow, these people are talking about herbs, and I know a lot about herbs, and I'm not really making a lot of money at this job here, and I don't know anybody. My car is on one leg, broken transmission, and it's cold, and that's how I'm homeless. So I'm kind of living with someone, not really living with someone, but I'm big and pregnant at this time. And so I rubbed my belly and I said, wow, what should I call this company? I gotta call this company something. I know how to put this together. I don't know how the hell this is gonna work. So I asked my son, who's in my belly at that time, I said, what are we gonna call this, baby? He said, call it Soul Tribe. I said, Soul Tribe. I like that. And at that moment, it was in October 2018, we said we're going to do Soul Tribe. So we set up the company, you go through the process of setting it up, do all of that. And so I get on Facebook. One of my coworkers, I said, can you set me up a Facebook account? I don't know nothing about Facebook, don't know nothing about this internet. And y'all know I still don't know nothing about it because my little internet skills ain't that great. But Spirit said, get online, say hello to people. And as you build your audience, do not add people that you know, because the algorithm kind of feeds. Just share, follow a few people that you're vibing with, and go for it. Y'all, that was in September of 2018. Still pregnant, still homeless, still got a car that's on 1 or 2 wheels, depending on the day, and that transmission was on 1 gear. I promise you. Did that. Oh, immediately, people are just responding, sharing. I'm like, okay, this is cool. And it was also helping me because I was alone at that time. I felt I was alone and pregnant, and I really liked that kind of camaraderie and that sisterhood I found on Facebook, because that was the intent. My intent wasn't just to get on and just talk and shoot the shit. My intent was to say, wow, let's connect. I found a Soul Tribe online. Many of you who are watching now or watching later, you know me from the beginning and where I first started. I met some wonderful souls. I haven't had a bad experience at all with anyone on the Facebook. And then I moved over to Instagram. Then I learned about YouTube, and I just started talking. I had no money. I had no nothing. And at this time, you all know about the situation with one of the major debts I had to release. And that was because it was tied up with a mother wound, right? And when we separated, she took my oldest son. I couldn't find him for 7 years. That was part of my dissension. When I talk about not being able to get out of the bed, being so sad and depressed, when I talk about the cancer that I suffered with, because part of me felt like it had died. It was a lot of trauma and a lot of wounding over my mother. And she's taught me this tradition, but later on, she did the exact opposite of what I thought, So at this time, I didn't have my son. And then later on, I found out she had put me on child support for my own son. I didn't go to court. I just got this money being taken out my check. So now, I have a deeper problem. Now my paycheck is being garnished. And I already ain't making no money. And I'm pregnant. And I'm homeless. And I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. I'm in a state where I don't know anybody. But I knew I had to stay here because I could feel there was love that was available and the energy that was here, right? So Spirit said, yeah, keep going. And I'm like, yo, I don't know how it's going to work. So then I get into the herbs. I start talking about my culture and the love of my ancestors. And people are like, oh, I love this. I'm like, really? They're like, we like this. And you have a nice smile. I'm like, really? Okay. And then people reach out, can I talk to you? And so then I'm talking to people over the internet here and there, not charging anything, my intent wasn't to do that. Then my brother says, hey, yeah, I think, you probably might want to charge her. I said, oh no, I can never go and talk around to the whole world. I can never talk to the whole world. That's like too big of a stage for me. I just want to stay in my corner, and I just want to hide and just collect a little bit of money. Universe said no. So guess what, y'all? When that garnishment hit my check, let me tell you how much I was making, because I believe in transparency. I believe in being open and honest, so there's no shame, there's no guilt, because we all go through things, and we are knowing that we are on a journey, and we get there, there's another step, and then there's another step. So where you are right now, it doesn't matter. You can be in the lowest of the low. You could have been like me, pregnant, homeless, ain't got no money, ain't had no job, 1 car on 2 wheels and 1 transmission gear, in a state you don't know anybody. And Spirit saying, you need to build a business. You see, these people are funny. So it doesn't matter where you are. And I was still working through some things in my health and my mental health as well, right? It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what you're going through. You can start, sustain, and build a sustainable business when you know how to tap into the energy that is inside of you. So all of this that was happening to me and my check being garnished, I was bringing home $800 a month. You heard what I said. I said $800 a month. Who is living off of $800 a month in the United States of America? Put it in the comments. I'll wait. Who's eating the proper foods, getting the proper nutrition, the vitamins, the sustenance, proper transportation, where you living at $800 a month? This was my challenge. Because Spirit said, yeah, if I bring this, I'm going to bring you through this and you're going to help other people. Of course, I ain't trying to hear that at the time because I'm like, I ain't got time for this. So now it comes around. My son, I have my son. I find a little location to live, which I'm so grateful for. And I just start from there. You know, the place was really, really old. Doesn't have a lot of the bells and whistles. It was basic, didn't have inside AC, and it was just a structure with a bathroom, with just being there. Okay, let me just say that. And I had to make this place into a home for me and my infant. I had a couple of health issues postpartum. Postpartum was more challenging on me than pregnancy. Pregnancy was a breeze in terms of physically, but postpartum hit me like a ton of bricks. Yet, Spirit said, keep going, keep going. And I'm like, how you want me to keep going? I'm making $800 a month. My check is being garnished and I'm working full time. What else am I? And I have this baby and I don't have any help. Just me and my baby. Spirit said, keep going. Lord, have mercy. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of your mamas out there know what it's like. But it's okay because this too will pass, right? And it's a part of your testimony. And it's a part of your journey that brings you into your greatness. You see, what you are going through is a library. You're building a library, an encyclopedia of experiences that will catapult you into the future. Like the slingshot, it has to be pulled back to get momentum, to get strength. The further that slingshot goes back, the more power it has when you release it, right? So eventually the Spirit's going to say, release yourself. Go for it. Let it all come out. Eventually, it's going to happen for you. But don't be afraid of the setbacks. Don't be afraid of the disappointments. Don't be afraid of those things, because that child support, which kind of was on me, I was able through this business get it paid off in less than 9 months. $20,000. $20,000 9 months. Who making $20,000 in 9 months extra outside of their living? Huh? But when you are obedient to yourself, when you trust yourself, it happens. Magic happens. And this is what we are talking about in this podcast. Allowing your magic to happen. Building from a broken place. Broken in your pocket, but also broken in your consciousness. Yes? Some of the things I've identified through my healing process was some things I had to get over. Being a teen mom. The guilt, the shame, the negative energy I had towards myself. Being a teen parent. I had to work through that. That was a barrier to me getting to where I want to go. That guilt, shame is so low vibration. It became a barrier to me. My mother wound issues, her abandonment, her lies, her sabotage. I had to deal with that. I had to deal with it as a new mother myself and wanting to be mothered. I had to deal with that, but I also had to give her some compassion because I was going through the same thing as well. All of this I say because if you follow my work, you know I talk a lot about mother wounds. I talk a lot about how they are fundamental to how we see ourselves in the world. Our mothers teaches us who we are. They tell you, hey, this is your purpose. When I was pregnant with you, this is what Spirit told me. This is what ancestors told me. Your mother energy is so important to who you are. She permissions you to do or to not to do. She helps you to set boundaries. But when that energy is interrupted for any reason, it can cause a lot of problems for us. Right? So I had to deal with my mother wounds. And in dealing with them, I developed a course. I've developed a workbook. And I developed a methodology of healing mother wounds that I can share with you. And when I share it with you, you can exchange with me financial coins. And so, again, when we are in our deepest moments, what can we extrapolate? What is the opportunity? So when we let go, it can catapult us into our future. I just told you I paid off $20,000 of a debt that didn't belong to me in less than 9 months when I started this business. Yes. So when I honored myself and the spirits keep going, they made a way. I didn't miss any meals. In fact, I bought a new luxury vehicle, right? And these were not my intents. My intents was just to heal myself. But when you honor the energy of honor, which is the acknowledgement of who you are in your divine power, when you honor yourself, the universe has no other choice but to honor you and everything around you. Yes. So this is about that sacred journey into abundance because it's an energy, it's an emotional energy. I also had to deal with my father issues of abandonment, issues of self-esteem, because I lack in some ways sense of direction. When you don't have a father or father figure, you may have trouble with sense of direction. So this was a part of a process I had to confront and to look at. And this business has allowed me to do that because I am the force of this business. The business is not the force of me. And so we teach this in spiritual entrepreneurship, how to be the force to get what you need out of your business so you're not dried out. You're not burnt out. And you can heal while you're helping others to heal. Also, I've been able to identify generational curses. When you're off of a job and you have more time, you're able to reflect more. You're able to look back and say, and observe different things. I was able to see how generational curses of self-sabotage was in my bloodline, poor boundaries, sexual abuse, which depletes personal power, and you need personal power in everything that you do. So rape, molestation, incest, all these things come, and when they come, what happens is they can drain our personal power. And so we can find out that we struggle in our business, we struggle with our energy, we struggle with our confidence. Can I do this? We doubt ourselves. A lot of times that's not you, beloved. And I want you to know that so you can release yourself. A lot of times it's in your bloodline. It's generational. Just take a look at your mother's family. Look at the men and the women. What are some of the themes that you recognize? For what I've recognized, I've seen a lot of the women be very mean. I've also seen the women being what they call super independent. And in that independent, it's not necessarily a healthy one. It's a controlled fear of lack. It's a poverty independent. Oh, I got to do this. I got to control this because if I don't, it'll never get done. That's a lack mentality. I recognized that was in my bloodline. So I started working on my bloodline. And we do have a bloodline cleanse that you can get at soultribeacademy.org that can help you to first identify what is in your bloodline that could be stopping you from getting to where you want to be. But it also gives you a remedy, a ritual you can do at least every 3 months to keep your bloodline clean on your maternal side and your paternal side so that the work won't be so heavy on you when you're going to get this goodness. Yes, this is going to be recorded, so you can definitely come back and review this. And welcome everyone, and thank you for being here. I'm grateful for your energy. So these are some things I've noticed. And this was impacting my ability to make money, my ability to grow and to expand and to be in business. And again, the wounding from my mother, when I say I would never be like her and she was in business, that was the same thing the universe wanted me to confront. The same thing. See, this business is not about money. It's about my healing. Your business is not about just getting money so you can get things. It's about your healing. And if your business is not about your healing and you're not in the center of it, it's not going to serve you. It's not. If you take the model that you have to put everything before yourself, including your business, your kids, your church, your community, you won't be satisfied. What will happen is you'll start to get a little disgruntled. You start to get you start getting your energy about some things and you won't be satisfied. This way we're talking about this evening is about making you first and knowing that everything that you're doing in your spiritual business is about your growth and your work, and that shows in everything that you do. So let's get to the juice. So 2019 rolls around. I'm doing a CMOS class, y'all. I'm doing a CMOS class. Remind you, I got this one little car with how many wheels? 2. How many transmission gears working? 1. About falling apart. I can't even drive it on the highway, but I'm still doing this work. So a friend calls me on the phone. Hey, yeah, what you doing? I said, girl, I'm here making this CMOS. She said, yeah. I said, yeah. And she said, hey, can you teach a class for the people at my business? I want to teach people about CMOS. And I'm like, okay, let's schedule it, set it up and go. So I schedule it, make a little flyer, and I put it on the internet, right? Hey, y'all can come, $10, come learn about this class. I start to do the class. I get there halfway. I forget my Vitamix machine. This time I'm cussing because the car ain't barely working and I'm trying to get there. Hold on with this, sir. I'm going somewhere. I want you to hear me. So I go back to my house, get the machine, little disgruntled, come back to where I'm going. And I wasn't late, got set up, was wonderful. People came out. It was a big turnout. But that wasn't the great part about it. You know what the great part about it was? I brought all this stuff in my little raggedy truck, and I brought my baby with me, and they agreed to watch my baby while I teach. It was like a community village thing. You know what? I met my twin flame right there. Yes, he showed up. He said, I've been looking for sea malls for over a year, and I couldn't find sea malls. But my friend told me about your class, and I just got off of work, so I'm just coming to your class to see what's going on. You know, he's from New Orleans, so you got the swag to him, which I just love. And he said, you know what? I just came to the class. I just wanted to see what it's about. And so I'm watching. I'm not paying attention in the class. I'm just teaching to everybody. Do you know he became my customer, of course. And from there, we just connected. We just connected for the love of people and health and wellness. And I got married again. And it's been the best experience ever. But I was doing my work. Yes, I was cussing. Yes, I was upset because I forgot the machine. I didn't want to do the shit because I was tired because I had worked and I had this baby, blah, blah, blah. All these things I could have said, oh, this is why I can't do this. I could have said that. And it would have been completely legit and no one would have complained and said you were wrong. But Spirit said, no, keep going. And I kept going. I kept honoring myself to just wanting to be free. Y'all know I'm Jamaican and Haitian. That Haitian side will kick in the middle. Like, we ain't got time for no bondage around this parts. Right? So your ancestors can help you along this way. I met my twin flame. And it's been amazing. And he's awesome. And he's just so supportive. I'll say this to say, when you honor yourself, you honor your purpose, you know that you have spiritual help around you. You're never in this business by yourself. So as a teenage mother, to going to graduate school, doing them accolades, think I was doing something. The ancestors was like, hell no. And I knew I wasn't really doing what I was supposed to do, but you know, you just act like you do. You know, you're in your 20s, you think you know everything, right? And you all know, right? From that to starting working with my ex-husband at that time, learning about accounting, bookkeeping, IRS, debt resolution, working with the state, working with federal agencies, nonprofit, for-profit, profits, proposals, all these things I'm doing for years for other people, not for myself, because I couldn't feel like I could do it for myself and didn't want to, other people, to wham, I'm pregnant, I'm homeless, I got a car that's broken, I'm in a state where I have nobody, I have no help, and then my check is being garnished, I'm only making $800 a month. I have to make a decision. Because I cannot live in poverty. I can't eat junk food. I can't live any kind of way. And this I know. I got to do something. Ancestors said, keep going. Keep going. And things weren't perfect, family, when I started. Like, y'all know, my words be spelled wrong. It's always with good intent. But sometimes, you know, sister be tired or, you know, these things happen. But if I had stayed in that energy of it had to be perfect, if I stayed in the energy that everything got to be, we would not have this conversation right now. We would not be able to contact Soul Tribe Heals. You know, in this ministry that we do, people have conceived children after having unsuccessful attempts to conceive through in vitro fertilization, through other people. We're helping people to have children. People are getting delivered. People are growing their businesses, starting businesses. People are getting breakthroughs in their emotional bodies. They're building with their families, their mothers. Their children are coming back to them. Their health is being restored. Just because I said, okay, I'm gonna do this. But you know my car ain't working right. But I'm gonna do it. You know we need some money. I'm gonna do it. And just keep going. And it's a part of me, even a lot of times I didn't have the faith to know how money was gonna come, when it was gonna come, but it always came. I'm grateful. Nothing was ever turned off or denied. I have never had that experience. And like I said, making $800 a month to completely being revolutionized just by believing in myself. I'm not the greatest at being on, social media. I'm not the greatest. I don't pronounce my words clearly. I don't spell my words right. I don't do all those things right. But it's not about those things. It is about the intent. It's about the energy. It's about what are you wanting to share with the world. I've made my life almost like an incense, where I'm offering love and peace through wherever I am. That is how I design my life to be. That's why I feel as if I'm in my essence. And when I'm in that energy, doors open up, because the divine recognizes real, what I'm trying to do and what you're trying to do. And the divine will meet you where you are. So whatever business you have, whatever concept you have, don't be afraid to take the chance. Don't be afraid to believe in yourself. It's going to get rocky. I've had plenty of times where it got so bad. And I'm like, fuck this. Ancestors, I love you, but I ain't got time for this. And I'm being honest. Times, I'm like, why am I could be. And I just kind of feel like an energy around me that's kind of comforting me and pulling my energy together. Like, you can do this. Come on, honey. We got you. At that time, I didn't understand exactly why I was being so processed. I'm like, man, I just had a baby and I'm going through the ringer. Emotionally. I need time to rest. I need time to build. And those things are true. I did need that. I still do. But my soul says, yeah, get up. Yeah, let's go pray. Share this word with the people. This is what they need to know. I just do it. I silence those noise that says, oh, you got this going on, you got that. I got to listen here. Spirit said to do this. Spirit said to drop $300 cash app in this person's account. I don't question. Some of you know you've gotten money, soul tribe. Do this, do that, do this. It's not me to know. All it is for me to know is to do what I'm supposed to do. And real, recognizes real, Spirit will meet you. So whatever you are, whatever it is that you have been called to do it. Don't worry about the money. That's not your concern. Your concern is your healing. Your concern is your wellness. Your concern is your family and having your time. You see, spiritual entrepreneurship deals with energy and energy exchange, right? And so when you have your time back, essentially you have your energy back. Please put your questions in the comment. When you have your time back, you have your energy back, because when you have your energy back, now you can rest. Now you can make those phone calls. Now you can see about what's grown in your yard and start a garden, now, and then have your own food, so you're not dependent on anything. It's about that and your independence, being able to move how you need to move, go where you need to go. Because hey, I'm not beholden to another entity outside of myself, because spiritual entrepreneurship brings you into your authentic power. You can't have your authentic power if you don't got your time. You can't have authentic power if you're running here, there, and everywhere. If you're not dealing with the wounding that's on the inside of you. And in business, you are your business. So your business is thriving and doing well. It's because you're thriving and doing well. Now, on the other side, if the business is kind of, waning, is not thriving, doing well, you always look at yourself. This is a tip. This is a pro tip. A pro tip. If your business is not where you want it to be, look at your love walk. Look at your self-care. What are your meditations at this time? What are you thinking? What are your meditating? What's coming out of your mouth? All right? About you. Because your business is only an extension of you. What you see corporations do and bigger companies do, they operate off of similar premises, believe it or not. But you are a spiritual entrepreneur. You're a little different. You got some extra things you got to attend to. How's your walk? How is your ritual life? What's your morning ritual? What's your evening ritual? What foods are you eating? And I'm not promoting any diets. I'm talking about you and what honors you. How's your relationship with your spouse, with your children? Do you need to cleanse your bloodline? We have a ritual for that. It's going to make a difference in all areas of your life, because this work is supposed to improve you, number one. And when it improves you, then you get the businesses, you get the business, you get the contacts, you get the leads, you get the follow-ups, you get what you need to grow your business. But you are number one. You are number one. Nothing can come before you. The wealth that you are seeking is the internal wealth. What do I mean? Internal wealth. Joy, peace, love, fulfillment, happiness, rest, grace, ease. Put whatever you want to put in there. That is your wealth, right? And that's the energetic wealth, because we deal with energy. And I'm going to show you how to get what you want and how to live easy. I'm going to show you easy. You fill yourself up with these things. You create the environment in which you live conducive and receptive to that, because it can't come to you if your environment is not here to receive it. If you want joy and better health, you have to prepare this body, which is the environment, and then your home, which is your energetic environment, to receive it, because it will not sit in a hostile environment. It will not stay very long where there is self-hatred, where there are deep mother wounds and confusion that you're not dealing with, and you're not paying, and not aware of. It will not stay there very long. It would be like putting water through a strainer. It's just going to come right through. But when you fortify your spirit, when you get very clear on who you are and your power and your energy, and this takes time, you can still be helping and serving others and work on yourself. In fact, you should always work on yourself no matter what you're doing. So people say, you don't have to this thing where I got to be completely this, I got to be completely that. When your spirit moves you to do something, you do it. And it will always be confirmed. If it's not confirmed, then we'll look at it again. But it will always be confirmed. We want to encourage you to move forward, right? So you set the environments for what you're wanting to receive. Getting your joy. Let's get in your peace. Let's get in your happiness. That is what these are the tools that you need to build your business on. Right? Because that's always going to produce abundance for you. Always. Always. And you'll never be without. So spiritual entrepreneurship, family, is all about you. It's all about your energy, how you choose to move it around, and how you choose to reap the material gains of your gift. Right? Some of you are great at listening to people. You're great for hearing their problems. They come to you all the time. Oh, so-and-so, this is going on. And you spend hours and hours counseling people through a process. That's a business. That's a bit. If they're coming back to you time and time again, all right, now, it's going to be $50 for you to talk to me. You might just start there. Why do we say that? Let's talk about money for a minute. Why should we charge for what we do? Why? Because the universe works off of reciprocity. This for that, right? When you speak with your ancestors, or when you're working with your other spirit guides, we talk about offerings. It's not about buying something. It's about an acknowledgement that I'm coming to you with something of value to get something valued exchange. Give and take, up and down, laws of the universe, reciprocity. So yes, you should charge or have some type of other exchange for your service, for your goods, or whatever it is that produce, because you put energy into it. You see, every client I get, they get my energy. I've been doing this healing work, or been aware of my gifts, I should say, since I'm 4 years old, and I'm into my 30s. So you get 30 plus years when you deal with me of business, family, healing, herbalism, seership, mediumship. You get all of that when you get with me. So how can I now give this away? How can I give this valuable life-giving asset away for nothing? No, that does not honor you. That does not honor your experiences. This is meant, your experiences are meant to serve you, not the other way around. So yes, it's appropriate, in my opinion, to charge for your time, for your energy. If someone could pay $200 for a pair of shoes that hits the floor all day, that only this is just a covering over their feet, they can pay you $100 an hour to talk to you, to fix your soul, to help you, you help them to fix their soul, because their soul is more important than any material thing around them. So if you think about what people spend money on, and how they easily throw money away on a dinner for two can easily be $150 easily, and you have drinks, and that's a one-time experience. They can easily spend that money with you and get an idea, get a concept, get a healing, get a Reiki healing, or reading that can change their lives. And I encourage you to look at asking money and setting your price. And we're going to talk about pricing later on in different podcasts, because that has to do a lot with your self-worth, charging, how you really value your energy, right? So people, I don't want to charge, but no, it's valuable. You're valuable. So you have to get an exchange for that. Or you're going to be a little disgruntled, drained, be in your feelings about some other things. You know what I mean? And we don't want to do that, because we want to make this fun. We are here to have fun. This is our business. This is our livelihood, right? So it's important that you ask for the appropriate energetic exchange. You may start out low. You may say, okay, I'll do a reading for $40, kind of see how it goes. But as you start to build, speak to your spirit team. When you feel ready, increase your price, change things up, put packages together, and go for it. It's not just what they teach us in school that's valuable, skills that we can do at a job with our hands for other people. It's not that that's just valuable. Is your intrinsic talents, which are most valuable because the divine has given them to you. So they already work perfect. You already know the ins and out of it. It's just for you to believe in yourself and to use them. I mean, when I first started this thing, y'all probably don't believe me, but I did not want to get online. I didn't want to talk in front of people. I felt this like anxiety. And sometimes I have to work through it of just getting online. But I realized when I get online, I share. This is my natural ability. I can talk to anyone, anything. I can sell water to a fish because of how I speak. That is my gift. I didn't learn this at school. People ask me, did you do Toastmasters? No. I speak from my heart because this is what I've come here to do. This is why it comes so effortlessly. This is why it comes so freely, right? But it's not free per se, but it comes out free. This is my gift, and this is what I want to bring to the world. And this has value, and I may assign a value of $50. I may assign a value of $100. Whatever your price point is, honey, that's you and your business, and between you and your people then. But there has to be an energetic exchange. Do not give your products and services away so freely all the time. It's not a good practice on an energetic level, but it also tells your customers that you're also don't see much value in what you're doing and who you really are. And I know it sounds a little counterintuitive, but it's the perception of things. And I know some traditions say you shouldn't charge. You go what honors you. You go what your spirit team tells you. Me, on my board of directors for this business, I have my ancestors are on my board of directors. They're also on my my LLCs, right? My spirit team is on my board of directors. They tell me when to invest. They tell me when not to invest, who to invest, when, and why. They tell me what letters I need to be writing because I have a basic knowledge of it, but they tell me when, how, when, and when to implement this. So you want to work with your spirit team in your business. Ask them, when is a good time to get this piece of equipment? Should I get this piece of equipment? What are other options when you're doing your meditation? What are other options to solving this problem? Because as an entrepreneur, spiritual entrepreneur rather, you're still in this physical realm. So you still got to deal with the day-to-day things of running a business, talking to customers, marketing, and in this changing social environment that we're in, you really want to rely on your intuition much, much, much more. Because what seems is not. And you really want to go a little deeper in your spiritual walk because things are getting a little cloudy from some people. A lot of you might have noticed some wheat separating from the tares, some relationships splitting, things changing in your business, changing with your customer base. You want to be aware of these things and ask your spirit team how to move forward. And we talk about these things. We talk about how to engage your spirit team in matters of business. What bank should I be using? I recommend everyone use a bank and a credit union. I've worked in a credit union. If you want to have a traditional bank, great. Get a credit union account because credit union normally are more gentler with their terms and conditions if you're looking for a loan or you're trying to finance equipment, auto, or get a home. They're not as rigid as a bank. Now, I've worked in the industry, just as a side note. So when you come to these podcasts, you will get this kind of information. Where are your assets? Where are they floating around? What is spirit telling you about this or about that? Where should you be looking? These are some of the things that you can also implore of your spirit team. And if you don't know, they can send somebody to you. Spiritual Entrepreneurship, Sacred Journey into Abundance with SistahYaya, that can help you. You can actually get a consultation with us and we can check out and do some things about your business just by emailing us at info@soultribeheals. We're only doing it for $100. $100 ain't nothing, and you can write that off on your taxes. We talk about taxation too and how really to get the most out of it according to the IRC, which is the Internal Revenue rulings. There are thick books. We're not going to bore you with that. That's what I used to do. Don't worry about it. I got you. But implore your spirit team to help you. Who should you be hiring? Who should you not be hiring? How much should they be paid? Those are some things, along with your research and common sense, that can really, really help you and take you to the next level. Now, what I would like to see, if anyone has any questions, because I talked to you a little bit about spiritual entrepreneurship and my journey to it, which was pain. I had to get through my pain, and I wouldn't be the healing rather, because I got a lot more work to do, and that's okay. I wouldn't be the healing Yaya you see today had I not engaged this business called Soul Tribe. Right now, we grew our business from 2018 when we started towards the end of 2018, last quarter, to now we have 5 employees. 5. 5. That's amazing. Our first year, no loss. Normally, they say in the first 3 years, most businesses have a loss. About the 4th or 3rd year, you about break even, and after that, then you start making profit. Honey, ancestors said, we got something for that, honey. We already paid it all. We're gonna make sure this first year is gonna be a good year. And so, boom, it's done. And you can do the same thing too. I started out a teenage mom, mother wounds, sexual abuse from itty bitty up to college, fighting these energies, being abandoned by my family because of my belief and my stance against sexual abuse for 7 years, had cancer, had darn near diabetes, had liver disease, lived in the street, been pregnant, been homeless. Look at me now. So your story, even just your story, look at your story. Look at your story. What can you extrapolate and share with someone who's willing to exchange with you? You don't know until you try. You don't know until you put your first YouTube video up. You don't know. You don't know who's going to see it. It may not be that day, that month, or even that year. You never know who's watching you on Facebook. You say, I need to contact this person. I think they can help me. And from that initial contact with that one person, you are so inspired to take the next step. Remember, the ancestors kept telling me, yeah, keep going. Keep going, girl. And I'm like, keep going. Keep going, even through the pain, even through the homelessness, the pregnancy, the postpartum, even some of my physical. I had a lot of physical issues postpartum with my hip and my back, not being able to move, with the baby and very limited help, very limited people coming and checking on me, maybe 2 people the entire time. Maybe it's been me, my son, and then my husband came. Spirit kept saying, even through that, keep moving. Don't stop. Don't stop. We love you. You can do it. You can do it, right? Welcome, Paola. Welcome. Shalom. Yes. How to start a journey and getting in tune with spirit and ancestors. That requires you to just slow down. Let's see. Deep. Yes. Just slow down. Listen to yourself. Get into your meditation. Just start with just hearing your inner voice. And then slowing down, what happens is you start to cool down a lot of the energetic noise, the voices that say you can't do this, or what about this, and it's taking you here and there. When you just get into your mindfulness and you just, okay, calm your nervous system. Now get on some herbs. Soursop is a good herb. Jamaican vervine is another one. Chamomile, passion flower. Different herbs you can take to cool and heal your nervous system so you can slow down. Let's breathe. Slow down. Allow spirit to speak with you. Get in tune with your spirit. Get in tune into your spirit. Ancestors. Second, set up your ancestor altar. Not all. You need to get with me and find out how you need to set it up properly, because you don't want to call on just any ancestors. Oh, ancestors, come and help me. No. I tell people, just don't call on anyone. People have different ideas behind this thing, but from my personal experience, you want to call on the most elevated and the most evolved ancestors who have done the work and who are still working for their highest good and your highest good. You want to call the best to help you with your business, right? Because there's some ancestors there that they're working through their healing and they're not quite there yet. But their involvement in your work of ascension, it can kind of cause some rifts sometimes. This has been my experience. So you call on your most elevated, evolved ancestor. You get a nice clean table. I'll go out and buy a new table. I don't use no old table. Get a nice new table, nice clean white cloth, clean one. I wash mine and I iron. I'm old school. So I wash and I iron it, and I wash it separate from everything, and I iron it. We'll prep the wop. I make a table, put a glass of water, a candle, and then with whomever ancestor picture or anything that you have reminds you of a particular ancestor, one who might like candy or coffee, those things you want to bring for that most honorable and evolved ancestor, and ask them to sit with them, have a relationship before you start asking for things. Because I'm not a big proponent of just asking for stuff. I like relationship, and you do want relationship with them. Imagine someone just coming to you when they need something, or they want you to help them with something. People do that all the time. It don't make us feel good. So let's not do our ancestors that way, because they are us and we are them. How we treat ourselves can be reflected in the relationship we have with our ancestors. So I'm glad you asked this question. But the most honorable, most evolved, benevolent ancestors you call upon, you may not know them, who they are at the moment, and that's okay. Call upon the energy, because they will respond to your energy. They know the energetic sound of their name. And when you, with the intent of it, speak it, they can respond to you. So you may not know their name. You may not put anybody on your altar. For a while, I ain't put anybody on there, because none of ancestors that I knew I really want helping me. So for a good time, I didn't have anybody. Just that energy of the most benevolent, most loving, because there's a lot of healing that needs to be done and that we're working on. And you sit, you talk, you share. And when you share, you be quiet and listen. You listen patiently for them to show up, because you're establishing a relationship with them. Right? And we don't want no miss their relationship with our ancestor. Oh no. Outside of you, your ancestor, then your people, them is next. Then the orishas, and in terms of like how it works, but you work with your own energy. Of course, the divine is always number one, right? But in terms of order of operation, is you and your ancestors. You work with your energy, because that's your energy, and that's what you're working with. And you sit and you listen, and as they speak to you, you get familiar with what their voice sounds like, which is very important, in my opinion. Hearing what their sound, because there's many voices, and as you're growing this thing, you may get different. Hear what their unctioning sounds like energetically. Hear what it sounds like, and you move with that. Yes, you may be washing dishes. Somebody's gonna come through and say, "Oh, call so and so and ask this, that, and the third, and this is what you need." Okay, you might be taking a shower, changing the baby, doing laundry. Spirit said, "Oh, do this, do that," because what? You have relationship. You can dial them on the phone. They can dial you on your phone, because you're open to them. You remain an open channel. This is why I encourage candle work, ancestor veneration, spending time, and just learning more about who you are, because it will help you in this I say business, let's say journey. It's going to help you on this journey to have greater success, to avoid headaches, to find out who is jealous about yourself. Let me tell you, I had a situation, and it came to me 2 weeks. Spirit said somebody is jealous. There's jealousy all around you, all around you. Okay, I'm used to that. What. Spirit said, no, we need to get to work on this one. So I went to my ancestors. Okay, what must we do? I saw the person in my dreams, because this is what I do. So I knew who it was. I didn't get into my fear. I didn't get, oh my gosh, what they can do for me. Years ago, I might have done that. Truth be told, when I wasn't really walking in my power, because I wasn't always like this. Years ago, I would have been so nervous and all this shaking and trembling. Spirit said we're gonna tap that ass spiritually. Okay, what you need me to do? Go get this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Bam, wall of protection, wall of peace, and it eventually came out. It eventually came out who, what, and where. But guess what? I did not have to involve my energy with engaging that person and those persons at all, because my connection with my ancestor informed me who was speaking badly about my business, who had bad thoughts about my business and my growth and where I'm going. They've informed me of this before it's happened. So I got to work. I got on my prayers. I got on my readings. I got on what I needed to do. I started to make sure I was more in my peace, more in my joy. No arguments with my husband. No issues with the baby. No worrying about how this, because that drains my personal power. And I got to get this. I got to get this life. So I don't have time to be caught up with things of distractions. I got to get to my spiritual work, right? And so I've been seeing a lot of miracles happen ever since the past 2 weeks. Not only have that person in that situation been revealed, but opportunities have opened themselves up. You're going to see within the next 2 months, the next 60 days, 90 days, you're going to see some changes, because the universe, as I opened up myself and I start to raise my vibration, things happen. Why? Spiritual warfare, working on myself. Spirit showed me what I needed to do. Bam. I didn't have to call no lawyer. I had to do that. I have to do this. I have to run out and go to this person or get my emotions or feel like I got to do all this stuff. I had to get paranoid. I had none of that. Spirit said, let's get on our prayer. Let's get on our fasting. We're going to talk about fasting and the power of fasting as it relates to this business, any spiritual business, how it can really take your business when you do your fasting properly, how it can really take your business to the next level. 5 days. I didn't intend to fast. Spirit said, we got something for that. I'm open because this business is me first. It's my protection. It is my joy. It allows me to go in places and to expand and to grow who I am personally. As I expand and grow, you get the benefit of it. You see more programs like this, spiritual entrepreneurship, healing mother wounds, different things. You get the benefit of what I do for myself. Does that make sense? Let me know if this is making sense. This is not just business as usual. Because business as usual puts everything and the business outside first. Spiritual entrepreneurship, the sacred journey into the abundance, starts with you first. Starts with your heart first. Congratulations, Paola. She said she just hired her first employee a month ago. Paola did take our class, Caribbean Healing Herbalism 101. And so she's growing, she's thriving. Congratulations. She also sells beautiful jewelry. She also makes beautiful pieces of healing. This is her ministry. And someone could say, oh, you know, that person's just selling stones, just selling rocks. So she's just selling plants and herbs from outside, wop the wop. Yeah. My girl says she's hiring her first employee and she makes beautiful, beautiful jewelry. So no matter what it is that you have, don't see it as small. Don't see it, oh, you're a herbalist, or you just give out recipes and remedies. Don't see it as just you're just selling a crystal. No. My girl here just hired her employee. So what does that mean? She has more, she's growing, right? She has more time for herself. So of her having to do everything, do the vending, do the customer service, or whatever that she has her employees doing, she's able to chill and hang out and allow that to make money. You see, in this business now, and the work that we do, is not for us to do everything. It's to tap into the resources around us to help us. It's not for it to be all about you. Soul Tribe, I'm just a spokesperson for Soul Tribe. Most time I say I'm the co-founder because this is founded with other entities. This was founded with my ancestors. This was founded with my son, my husband. It was founded with others. It's not, I'm just a spokesperson, but I'm not the owner. So when you hire, what you do is you're able to you grow your business to a point where you can say, you know what? Let me take one little step back and get someone here. Now you're pouring abundance into another household. Now you're helping to feed other children and families through your work, right? And that closeness to that spiritual work. Now y'all sharing. Now you're building a community, a family. You see how you're able to build even just a tribe through business. That people, some of you are dealing with not having to have family members to support you. Don't worry about it. I ain't got none. They still don't support me. I don't care. You all have been my family. You all have showed up for me. Y'all have been my soul tribe, right? And so I encourage you, whatever it is that the Spirit has given you for your gifts and you want to bring it to the market, you don't have to. You don't have to. But you want to bring it to the market. You want to share with the world goodness and great, and still have the economic sustainability to live the life that you deserve, because you ain't come here to suffer. You ain't come here to be sick. You ain't come here to have no money, to be driving a beat up car that has 2 wheels and one transmission gear. You ain't come here for all that. Yeah, that's part of the journey, but you ain't come here for that. And it takes money, and we can heal the money wounding that we have. You can heal the self-worth issues. I had to work through them. That I had about, and that was limiting my money because I didn't feel worthy of charging this price, because it was given to me and this is all I know. Who's going to pay me $100 to say something? Who? But I had to slay that dragon. I had to slay that fear, because not only was it affecting my business, it was affecting my relationship. It was affecting how I was feeling about myself. Stepping in to who you are. Spiritual entrepreneurship would allow you to face some of your deepest, darkest areas, but not in a bad way, because all part of you are great and wonderful. It will allow you to examine yourself to say, oh, this needs healing, because your business is going to be a reflection of what's in your heart space always. As you grow, people who grow in this and really thrive, and there's different levels and measurements of success. So just bear with me in that context. Not everybody's here for money. Not everybody's here to do that. At all. But as it grows, you can also see, you should also see, if you pay attention, you should also see that person growing as well, emotionally, spiritually, and their joy and their peace. Those two should be kind of why you're doing this work, because it's only an extension of who you are, like your child, right? Paola, excuse me, says, I just love providing joy and healing to my people. This is the one who just hired an employee, so congratulations. She also says, I love what I provide. I love what I provide, that energy to those who need it through my energy. Yes, and that she is giving that gratitude, that good feeling is filling her spirit. It's helping her to find greater joy. So as she's selling her jewelry, her artisan pieces, her handcrafted pieces, is giving energy to her customers, but she's also receiving the emotional and the spiritual energy that they say through thank you and gratitude and just the goodness of giving. You know, it's still more good. It's a good, better feeling to give sometimes than it is to receive. I love to give. It gives me a wonderful feeling. And sometimes I have to work on receiving, which is the balance, right? But still, to give and to receive that gratitude and that good feeling inside is a payoff. That's currency, right? So spiritual entrepreneurship is not just limited to money. It's part of it. But it's about you living your dreams, your vision, despite of the hardships. Take your hardships, like I did with my mother wounds, and I worked through them, and I found things that work, and the ancestors started speaking to me, the spirit started speaking to me, say, do this, do that. I started reading, I started researching, I started talking to other people, and came up with a curriculum for mother wounds. And now I'm able to take this, package it in a way where people can just do the pre-recording, get what they need, how they're able to heal themselves. And this is another tip for those who kind of do, you know, talking and speaking, encouraging. You can sell your things. You can sell your energy, not sell your energy, you can exchange your energy, right? But from my mother wound, I developed something. I made that mother wound an opportunity for myself to say, hey, world, this is what's going on with me. Lord have mercy. But this is what I've done to kind of move myself forward. I want to share that with you. Come on and hang out. Come on, let's talk about these mother wounds so we can be free. Because it freed me. And if it freed me, I know it can free you. So let's do this thing together. Why not? That's all I said. And now I have a curriculum for it. And that's healing women and men all over the world. And it's bringing me great joy, because when these men, women are healed, they go into household and they bring that healing to their household. Then they put it to their children, right? And everything around them starts to be healed. Then those children go out, no matter what age they are, they're preschool, elementary, don't matter. They go out and bring healing. So not only are you getting a product and a service for a spiritual person, it's multiplying and raising the vibration of this earth. And I want to leave you with that. Your work is not only providing food, shelter, and clothing for yourself, but you are raising the vibration of this earth. You're saying, I'm done with violence. I'm done with sickness in my community. I'm done with that. I am going to do something to help myself and someone else just come up just a little higher for my product and my service. And I'm going to change the trajectory of where this world is going. I'm going to offer it to the world. I may feel shy. I may feel sad. I may not be feeling good that day, but I'm going to get up here anyway, because my intent is to share love. And every time you open your mouth, every time you post a picture of your product, your service, you are raising the vibration of where we are living right now. And the Great Mother will honor you for that, because it is an exchange. We talked about reciprocity. Spiritual entrepreneurship, the sacred journey into abundance. Thank you for your time and listening about how from brokenness we can build, how you can take what you have and make it into something that benefits not only you, but your family. Yes, your family, your community, just by choosing yourself, just by deciding to heal and to share it with the world and be open for an exchange. Is that simple. Just by going deep within, healing what needs to be healed, finding what is working, study, researching, putting it together, listening and sitting with your ancestors and seeing what they're telling you to do. And just keep going. Just keep going. This has been the journey of Soul Tribe. And I'm so grateful to share this time with you. Please get in contact with us. If you want to donate to this work, you can do that. I'll put the information where you can do that. So invest in people, places, and things that can grow you. That's very important. Investing. Soul Tribe, we invest in other businesses that we come in contact. We buy their services, we buy their products because we believe in them. Many of you on this live right now have received that from us because we believe in what we say. This is why we've grown, because we engage the rules of reciprocity, giving and receiving all the time. It's a principle to it. It's a science to it. We're going to talk about that as well. Thank you so much for your time. If you would like to have your business evaluated from the rooter to the tutor, and also looking at some things in your personal life, you can schedule that. Email us, info@soultribeheals. Put in your request.com. Put in your request, and we will send you a link where you can sign up for a time and a day, and you will meet with me. If you have tax issues, if you have IRS issues, state issues, federal issues, not all state federal issues related to your money, we can take a look at it and kind of help you to give you some suggestions, rather, things to consider, and the resources how to get there. $100 is not a lot of money for business. $100 is really, really an offering to you. It's just to compensate for the time. The value of what I'm offering is really into the thousands, because I go into your business and I look and see what's going on, and then I go into you and look and see what's going on and see how we can put you into alignment. $100, telling you, it'll be a best investment. And you can write off of your taxes, y'all, because you gotta make sure you do your taxes. You write that $100 off under your professional fees. You're gonna see that on your Schedule C. We ain't gonna talk taxes tonight, but I love you. I see you all later. Thank you. info@soultribeheals.com. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. YouTube, please like and subscribe. What you've seen here, what you've received here. And before we go out, we just wanna breathe in, breathe out. Let us breathe in and breathe out. Let us breathe in and gently breathe out. Thank you. So much gratitude for you. Continue to love yourself. Allow this message to be a part of your meditation. See where spirit leads you. Next time, we're going to be doing another interview with someone. We're going to talk more about spiritual entrepreneurship and different things. We got some goodies coming for you. Please keep in contact with us. Our newsletter link is in the bottom. Get on our newsletter, because you can get our newsletter. You can find out what rituals we're doing. The abundance ritual is this Friday, the 23rd. If you're having issues with your money, or some things are not moving, you don't have the joy and the peace that you have to manifest what you need, put in your petition. That link is also in the bio. Put in your petition for abundance. We've had people get franchise deals, buy houses, get money that's been locked up in litigation. Insurance claim money has been coming through immediately, because the energy is here. We are pulling in the power of the most elevated and evolved ancestors to help us with this. So we're not doing it alone, and we're not struggling through this process. We've posted testimonies. We want you to get what you need while it's here. If this message resonates with you, then this is for you. If it doesn't, then it still might be for you. Might not be later on, but that's still okay. But make the move and choose yourself now. Remember, keep going, keep going, keep going. And I love you. We'll see you soon. Be well. Peace.